Natalie Bowman, and Sandra Vargas. They're both are organization and stuff that provide support filling out new nonprofit, right? So they're going to explain more about that. So here's Natalie. Go ahead.
Hi. Thanks so much for having us on, Doug. So PIC, Partners for International Cooperation, that's my nonprofit. We just support other groups, and that can look like helping people go through the format of how to incorporate and get 501c3 status to become a nonprofit. That can look like how to run an event or a project. It can look like how to apply for a grant or start up a website. And so what I found was when I started this, there were teachers and farmers and doctors and parents and just good citizens who knew or know what their community needs, but don't have nonprofit management experience, which is kind of a niche thing to have. And so we could provide that, and that's what we do. So we bridge that gap so that people who want to do good have the opportunity to do so in a really big, impactful way. And Sandra is one of those people, because Sandra and I met at a community event doing small projects around neighborhood block projects, and we got talking. And Sandra, you already had a really amazing club for the kids and an after school kind of program that was expanding into a lot more than that. And then we got you 501c3 status, became a full nonprofit, and you're still going. It's been 2 years. Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
So tell me about that. Go for it.
Well, my name is Sandra Vargas, and like Natalie said, we met in a program where we were giving back to our community. She helped us become a nonprofit, and by that, we have more opportunities of people helping us so we can keep performing. So what we do is that Central Valley Arts and Culture teaches the kids different cultures from around the world, and then they go ahead and perform all around the town. But not just they perform, they also give back to their community. So we have worked with all different other nonprofits that are looking to make a change on the Heritage District, most known as the east side of Lodi. And so that's where our heart is, and that's what we do with the kids. We give them an opportunity and also a voice that they know that they're important and they can make a change. And all they need to do is just want to do it with love and respect.
Wow, that's amazing. So how long did it take you for Natalie to get you the 5103C that? How?
It took her 1 day.
1 day. Okay.
No, a little bit longer.
Wow.
I'm good. I'm not that good.
Well, we met 1 day, and she helped me with all the paperwork, and we basically just had to wait until we got in the mail the rest of the whatever was needed.
For what? To apply like the franchise or the franchise taxes or what?
Yes, to become a nonprofit, a
Right.
501c.
So it's usually a 6 to 12 month process, depending on how long we kind of work through it, and sometimes we'll have to hold off if a group needs to raise more funds for filing fees and things like that. But first you have to become a corporation, then which is with the state of California, and then you can file for federal or IRS tax exemption. Then you can go for your state tax exemption. And there's some other paperwork we help with, first meeting minutes and your bylaws and all of these things that no one else but me likes doing. So that's how we gotta go.
Yeah.
But she made it so easy that's why I'm saying it took 1 day, because I didn't even feel the pressure of what is it that I need to do next. She was really a big help with that. She basically took that all that hard work on her hands, and all I had to just show up and just answer some questions. So it was a really big help. Otherwise I would have never been able to do it.
So let me ask you, I heard people say that you don't really need federal, but you can work on state. Is that true or not? Is that a myth?
It's not necessarily a myth. So we're going to get a little legalese here.
Okay.
That's a technical term, legalese.
Yeah,
But it's in our Constitution, right? California Constitution, if you are operating as a nonprofit, then you are a nonprofit. and you don't necessarily need that confirmation from the IRS or the state about it. The issue is, though, most large organizations that give grants or wealthy individuals who want to donate are going to want to see you or your organization on the federal tax-exempt database, which means you need to pay for the IRS to review your paperwork that hopefully you've talked to me about filling out, so it's done right.
Okay.
And then they'll give you that, it's called a determination letter. And it says, yes, you are in fact, congratulations, a nonprofit, operating under the laws of the IRS. And then it's a similar process with the state.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's really good to have. I really recommend groups to get it because it allows them to expand. It makes sure that they are really kind of following all of the procedures, have their ducks in a row, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what are you providing service to people who want to get into the business and nonprofit thing? Because I know that it's hard to find work, and they think that going to business of nonprofiteering is good or bad. That's just an idea.
It's definitely a business. The nonprofit industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry across the globe. And that's really not actually where I find PIC working or our partners working. It's not in big organizations that have multi-million dollars. Everyone that I work with, including myself, we have other jobs. This is volunteer.
Okay.
So what we work with is grassroots community organizations. The people who are going to be making a ton of money in nonprofit, working for a big nonprofit, they already know this kind of stuff. They have a master's degree, all this other things. And that's not really where we work a lot. I will do some consulting for larger groups, but it's like where PIC's heart and where my heart is kind of leading the organization is making sure that at the foundational base in our own communities, like I'm a Lodi native and grew up living and working in Stockton too, that like this is where our home base, where we start and can make the biggest change for the kids and everything.
Okay, so what do you focus on? Nonprofit, do you turn away, like, I don't know, like, you focus on children, senior citizens?
We don't turn away anyone unless you're like,
okay,
like.
That's a question
No, it's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we're very,
diverse.
I actually, diverse, and like I'm here as like a middle class white lady, right? But I feel super honored that like I get to work with all of these other communities, and so it's really helpful. Like we have like Hispanic communities, or like Sandra's group that has everyone possible. Like you've gone through so many and like helped expose kids and like learn about cultures. We work with Kenyan and Tanzanian groups, and of course there's a lot of different subcategories there. We work with a number of Native American groups that are here, I think some of which have been on your show before. And so that's a huge a big deal for me because I recognize like privilege and power that's in society, especially here in the States. And so we try to, again, like provide support services, not telling people what to do, not trying to be leading, because I don't think we need more leaders like me. I think we need other people to be empowered, and not that we're giving them that. It's just like, hey, here's how our society works and what you need to get done so that you can go do and make that like radical change that you're looking for.
So that's good, but people probably say, what do you mean by radical change? That's really a good way of saying that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. But what do you mean by radical change? That I think like Sandra, she for kids a radical movement. That's good.
Yeah.
You make it positive. Get them out of trouble. Get them to be some activity, something that they love doing. So how did that has to keep doing that as a positive thing for you?
Yes. For me, of course, it's so positive. The kids give me such energy that they're keeping me young.
Okay, good.
but yeah, just to see them how they're developing this different perspective of
individual.
life. Yes, an individual. Some kids have told, because I ask them all the time, what have you learned in the club? And some had said, well, I have learned to have more patience. some of the girls first time wearing a folklore skirt, a Mexican folklore skirt. That for them is like, oh my God, I always wanted to wear one of these. I feel so pretty. And sometimes we also have given them the opportunity to sing, so they can show off their talents. And so we do like everything that has with art. So we also teach them. We have a beautiful. We say hello to Jill Lipka. She's one of our artist volunteers. So she comes and also teaches the kids art and history. So we have that going on with our nonprofit. We also, the kids sometimes they have to make their own attires when they're gonna dance. So they learn that also.
Attire, I mean clothes, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So I told you you're helping kids to identify themselves, whatever they create.
Yes, and not just identify themselves, to be proud of it.
Oh, proud.
To be proud of it, you know, because we're all different. We usually say, "Oh, we're all alike." No, we're not alike. No, we're all different, and we all have to be proud of who we are. Because we're all when we put in a plate and we have all these different beautiful colors, that's what makes it more unique than just being all one color. So that's basically what we're trying to teach the kids. It's like be yourself and be proud of it, and keep your culture going.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you gotta really talk fast. Excuse me, I'm
Sorry.
trying to catch up, okay? So that's a lot of positive energy, which is good. So Natalie, so how many people that have gone through your service that been successful, and then there's something that, get kind of like maybe like a negative 1% that it wasn't that successful. Okay? Just give them the realistic idea.
Right. That's a good question. I think here's my caveat to your question.
Caveat?
Caveat?
Can you give me another word?
Okay. Here's to answer your question. I'm going to answer a different one because let me put it this way. I don't like your question because it assumes that people can fail. In nonprofits.
No.
No, I know what you mean, but hear me out.
Okay.
Even for those groups that don't end up becoming lasting for 10 years and making a bunch of money or building a big community center or things like that, the process that I see people taking when they have an idea of how to meet a need and they build into it and they take it through this process to kind of get to the end result, anywhere along that process is a lot of positive energy, like you said.
Yes.
And it's building, it builds confidence for people. It gives them a sense of, validation that the problems that they see in the world are real and are, part of their lived experience and deserve to be changed. And wherever they get, I always see people taking that into something else in their life, whether they're like, hey, I got to take this full-time job, so I can't do this right now, but the foundation is still there. And you can kind of see it impacting more broadly the rest of the people around them too, not just themselves.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, that's good to know. I mean, a lot of people will be so negative, I'm going to how to work, but you teach them to go along that everything's gonna be okay, everything positive, work, and process, like what Sandra experienced with you.
Right.
With just one day and you didn't know anything what's gonna happen, so everything was just great about, and didn't have to deal with all the paperwork, the money, how am I going to raise, how am I going to do this and that, like that. It's like people are waiting, but yet they have their ideas, so it really make an impact. You know what I mean? They're kind of should I do this? Should I wait it? Should I put it on hold? Put my dream on hold?
Never wait. Just dive in. I'll give you a perfect example of this. And Sandra's group is one of the most successful in just terms of how they go about things is really impactful, and then just how many kids' lives you've really touched. So a really good example of what some people might say is a not successful group would be, last year we had a water safety day, and it was run by a lady who actually did a lot of this. I worked with her, but she did a lot of that while homeless, like living out of her car, but her passion was teaching kids how to swim, water safety. You know, we have the McCollum River. Over here we have the Stockton Port, pools, and there are kids who drown every year because they don't have access to swim lessons or swim teams. So she was tackling that problem. She was a swim coach, taught swim lessons for a couple decades, and we brought that need to, I think, about 40 kids on a Saturday afternoon, just to, you know, have a good time, have some fun out in the sun, but also learn how to better, you know, make sure they're safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, she ended up having to move up to, I think, Washington or Oregon. So we weren't able to take her through the rest of that process to become a 501c3. But that's okay. Like, that day was still super impactful. We still talk about that. She's still excited about that. Those kids remember her and will still be like, hey, can we do that, like, water safety thing again? So it's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think any, like they say, no good deed goes unpunished, right? I don't think no good deed, like, goes without positive change. Like, it helps. All of those little droplets. Like, we don't need one person changing, like, redoing the whole world. We need a lot of people making little changes where they're close to home, and that's going to carry us forward.
Oh, it's awesome. That's a good example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so what other question should I have for Sandra? 'Cause I don't want her to be left out too.
No.
So
she's going to talk over me because I'll
So
talk
I
forever.
definitely think that, Sandra, have you going any event that will, have you done like an event for people?
We have actually last year, our first year anniversary, we decided to do a multicultural festival. And we had other schools of kids dancing come and join us. So it was more like a community event.
In Lodi, right?
In Lodi, yes.
So you had like a flyer?
Yes,
and
everything.
Like,
yes.
Wow, okay.
And the cool thing about that is that the kids wanted to do it at the Health Park, which is on the east side of Lodi, and it's known for gang activity and
Okay.
not for positive things. And when the kids decided to do it there, that's what they said, that their focus was to change that environment, to change the view of the people.
That's gravy.
Yes.
Oh my
so,
God, that's awesome.
and then we did it until 9 p.m. So we waited until it went dark.
Okay.
And
at 9 p.m.
At night,
You didn't
yeah.
have no permit, or people like police watching?
We did, of course. We had a Lodi PD come,
Okay.
and you know, the kids wanted somebody there also to, you know, so
Safety.
I also feel safe.
Oh, yeah, man,
But the fact that we kind of broke that chain of people being scared to be at the park, especially after dawn. So they were very excited. Hopefully we keep it happening every year. But yeah, but thanks to things like this, and because of Natalie, it came out the idea of opening a community center.
They did?
Yes,
Open
and
a community
Natalie.
center? Oh
Yes,
my
so
God,
Natalie
that's
can give you
awesome.
more information about that. Yes.
Yeah.
So, another one, it made just that event, it made an impact to open a center, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
So we can also give it up through that center that we're all going to be under PIC, which is Partner International Corporation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Natalie is the one that obviously, you know, she's the one in charge there. She thought about maybe opening a community center where we all the nonprofits that she has helped, we can be established there, and we can keep on doing the work that we want to see in our community.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Central Valley Arts and Culture will be giving free classes of dance to the kids, and then we have Jill Lipka through Central Valley Arts and Culture will be giving some free or low income art classes for everybody, but it's mainly more for the kids that live on the heritage or the minority, like they would call us.
Like the disadvantaged, the foster kids.
Yes, everybody's welcome.
Everything. Oh, that's awesome. That's
I'm not the only nonprofit that is going to be there. Natalie can give you more information about all the different nonprofits that will be there.
Okay, now
Yeah.
Okay, you're on the spot. What all the Natalies are going to be involved? Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, what's so cool about what I get to do is that I get to work with people like Sandra, like all day, and this would not have happened without all of our other partners, but especially Jill and Sandra. Sylvia has been huge from IPAP. She was really helpful in all of this. It was such a good example of people like coming together for this common goal. And so PIC's role in the community center is to provide, again, like that support service of having, rent for a building and the insurance and how to like get everything done so that there is a safe space for nonprofits to come into that's actually accessible for them. Because most people are going to be charging like really high rent, and it's not, or you have to have your own insurance. There are all these little like nuances to actually, if you have a nonprofit or a community group and you want to do something, where do you even start to go? And how much is it going to cost? And what times are you going to be able to do there? And so there's these barriers to entry, that's what we would call them, barriers to entry, from people being able to take their good idea, art classes, dance classes, English and Spanish classes, maybe some signing classes, yes, and being able to actually get it done. And we just kept getting a lot of requests for, where's the space, we need a space to do this. And so that's what we're kind of putting together right now, and we have a fundraiser on Sunday. It'll be like a huge blast. I'm super stoked about it. Spaghetti dinner. Who doesn't like spaghetti?
Okay,
yes.
Who doesn't? Okay. So
can't be friends if you don't like spaghetti, Doug.
Good,
okay.
I love
spaghetti. Good.
So tell me, so when did that event start? The event you're talking about?
Oh, this is the first one.
So
We are like definitely still working on getting the center set up.
Oh,
we
okay.
need all
So
of the support that we can get.
So you're going to let me know when you're going to have that event, that spaghetti event.
It's July 28th.
July, okay.
Which
July,
is Sunday. This
Which
Sunday.
is the
July
Sunday.
28th, okay.
Which is a little sooner than I think I'm ready for. But we'll get it done.
Write it down. July 28th, okay.
July 28th. It's going to be from 5 to 8 p.m.
5 to 8 p.m., okay.
It's at 226
226
East Lodi Ave.
East Lodi Ave.
And that's in Lodi. It's, if you know about Lodi,
it's a center.
It's a center. It's a white box is what it looks like.
For now.
Okay.
But we're going to make it pretty, aren't we? Yes. Yeah. And it's a little bit, let's see my directions here. It's a little bit east of A&W and across from Smart and Final on Lodi Ave. So if you're familiar,
Okay.
Most people know. It's like the oldest A&W
it is. It's like
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
so
it's
let me tell, before I go, I forgot that you're going to have an event, spaghetti event, fundraising for all nonprofit hearing, right?
It's going to be for the center.
For the center.
It's going to be for the center, but that center is open to, even if you're not a nonprofit, if you're just someone and you're like, hey, like, for example, we had a Spanish English teacher, and she's like, I would love to teach more classes. Well, she doesn't have a nonprofit, but she doesn't need to. She can come into our space. We'll provide the resources that she needs to give her skill set so people can come in and learn Spanish and English, and I can get my Spanish better.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So is there any cost for this event, like $10?
So, yes, it's a $10 per ticket.
$10 per ticket.
Yeah, and that's if you get it in advance, or $15 at the door. But the other thing that we're doing that night is not only can you come for the event, not only can you come in and like get food to go. If you just want to pick up dinner, that's great. We'll like bring it out to your car so you can feel fancy. We're also doing a back to school night and distribution night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we've
like
been
a backpack or a book.
Yeah. We have a ton of supplies. A few backpacks, yes. A lot of pencils, erasers, binders, paper, notepads. I don't know if you know this, Doug, but. In Stockton Unified, you get $200 for.
Stockton. Oh my God! Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, get the fingers ready.
SUSD. I'm gonna start it now. They know what I mean. Okay, Stockton Unified. Go ahead.
Yeah, they only give.
$200.
I think it's $200 or $250, and then Lodi Unified is the other. So it's between $200 and $300. A public school teacher for the whole year for their class. Which is like some glue sticks.
Did a lot of teachers know about that program?
No. What I'm saying is that's not nearly enough for them to provide all of the supplies that they need. especially when kids are coming in and the kids might not have them. So this school drive is not just for kids or their parents, but is also geared towards teachers too. So if you're a public school teacher and you are going to be paying out of pocket for a lot of your stuff, like hit us up because we can help supply some of that. And we want to make sure that teachers are able to do their jobs without all of this extra stuff that they have to pay for out of pocket. So at that event, you can either come and drop stuff off, or you can come and pick stuff up, and you don't need to have a ticket for that.
Okay, so that's happening in the beginning event, right?
Yes.
They're all being on one night.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And they can also purchase their ticket online.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Our Facebook page has the event, and you can get it there.
Okay, what is your Facebook page? Did anybody know it?
Partners for International Cooperation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Partners for International Cooperation.
Really making it difficult for you,
know,
Doug.
okay.
Sorry.
Oh wow, I'm really excited because it's really a unique way of collaborating people that have a community hardship, and there's always somebody that are willing to step in to make it easier for them. And I'm so excited because it's so amazing that, like yourself, people don't know what you guys do. You know, I'm glad you're getting out of the open. I really appreciate people. I'm getting flushed already. I don't know if I'm red or whatever, but anyway, I definitely think that it's an exciting event for everyone, even for teachers, because I know teachers struggle of their pay rate, their insurance rate, and they have to work full time, all the time. 12
I don't
hours.
know a single teacher who hasn't paid out of pocket for stuff. Not my mom, who's a teacher, not my sister-in-law, who's a special ed teacher, and she's in Georgia. It's really hard, and we're not supporting the people who are making a difference in kids' lives as we should.
They're role model. I mean, people. Can you remember your teacher from high school or elementary school or whatever? You still remember them back then? That they're the one that role model and teach you to mold you and just make you the way you are right now. Yes. And that to me, that's a hero right there.
Yes, yes.
Plus, they're also heroes that are staff too, like the people that work as the janitor, the cooker. Everybody played their role and they're part of what comes to student right there. So I really appreciate them.
And to go back to your question about like why I said radical change, like that's part of it. We don't respect and don't have an understanding of how critical our custodial arts are, or are like the people behind the scenes doing HR and admin, or the people out in the fields. All of these like day-to-day things, like it doesn't matter if you have a big-time job or not. Doesn't matter if you end up on radio. Like Sandra and I.
I'm a dog.
Woo! No, but it's the everything, the everyday things done really well. Like that's pretty radical. We don't highlight that enough. We don't need more like Steve Jobs. We need more school teachers and the bus drivers and all of that stuff.
So like those trade school.
Yeah.
And they're important too. I'm like really that's good. So so I don't know what time it is as far as we get. Okay. I'm kind of speechless, and I don't know what I ran out of question because you pretty much answered everything I was gonna say, So.
Oh, well, we could just play.
Do you want us to sing or something?
Can you ask you what? First of all, I know what I say. So Sandra Vargas, that's your last name. So you teach dancing arts, right?
So no.
Okay.
I don't teach the kids.
Okay.
I just basically give them the basic of the dance, and then they have to go and learn it.
So, like
so we use YouTube. Yeah. So you should use a lot of YouTube, and I show them different videos and whatever they feel like comfortable. Or sometimes they just get, like I said, the basic, and then they create their own dance.
So it's like a Latin culture, or
no? It's a multicultural.
Oh, really?
Yes, we represent.
Like what?
We have done African dances, Colombian dances, Puerto Rican dances, Mexican dances, American dances, of course,
wow, awesome.
Native American dances, all of them. We try to change countries each year.
Oh, okay.
So that way, besides their learning and the people that sees them, they see a different show when they present.
Oh, awesome.
But then, like I was telling you, the kids also, what they are doing this year is that they went and taught other kids the dance. Like, for example, we got invited for a Cinco de Mayo event, and one of our girls went and taught them a Mexican folklore dance. But this was the first time that the school had their own kids participating in their own event.
Really?
Yes, they usually call other schools to come in. So they like it so much that they invited us again this year. So hopefully with something that, we start partnership with the schools. Yes, so that school gives the opportunities to the school, so the same kids from their community to become leaders.
You know what's kind of fun? It's kind of good what you're saying, because you know how people get bad grade on PE?
Yes.
So we need to use that as a credit for dancing.
That's not a bad idea, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, PE, people just don't like, it's like, okay, I don't want to do it. You get it. And then that's probably to give school a credit of, like, the graduating, they're short on one point, yet that will help out with the dancing and building up their self-esteem, because maybe they feel insecure about wearing their short or whatever thing, and they don't want to go run out. They want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when we went to one of the schools, it was so beautiful to see these Caucasian girls wanted to learn how to do the folklore dance. A Mexican folklore dance, and they did an awesome job. They love wearing the skirt, painting their lips red. That was the main thing. And but the main thing is this is all free. It's all free to the kids,
Okay.
We
you get sponsored from the school, or who sponsored your program?
Whenever we get donations,
perfect,
so right now, San Pablo's Church, Lutheran Church is sponsoring with a space, just until the center opens. That will be their home, where they're gonna have like mirrors and studios. They're so excited about that, because they actually, when they're practicing their songs, they don't see themselves, and that's very hard.
Oh, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and how you're gonna press yourself.
Yes, and they don't, and they just practice and practice. We started at my garage. That's where we started, and then we moved to our living room because it was hot, and then it was so much, and then the church was so nice to to give us a space. And then with Natalie, now that that she's gonna be opening the center, and that's gonna be our home, we're so excited to be closer to where our heart is again, like I mentioned, in the Heritage District, and just to give the opportunities to these kids, to be able to perform, because all that stuff costs us a lot of money when they want to go and learn, and the fact that they get to do it for free. Sometimes when we go to the park, we get like all these Pakistani girls coming up to us and be like, when are you guys gonna come back? When are you guys gonna come back? It's like, pretty soon, guys, pretty soon. So we are very excited about the fact that these are the kids doing all this work. I really don't do nothing.
You know what's kind of funny, that it's really great that a lot of people, a lot of studio, like dance studio, it costs money. I went to a studio and it cost me $145. Wow. Just for, I think it was like 4 lessons. And then, I had to learn about salsa, jazz, the foxtrot and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, let's try it. And I'm a left foot, I'm kind of like left foot. Well, I can't hear what's going, so whatever. But it really shows, and they have kids too that go to Delta College.
Yes.
And they can't afford to go to a class. So I think that's something that it's a suggestion that opened their eyes to, hey, we could keep classes for them to perform, because when they start out, they're like, they expected to know all the material, the performance, and all that. Because I had a couple of people that went there, and they got discouraged because they couldn't. Some people are slow learners, some are pick-up learners. But I definitely believe that if your heart is set up and willing to do it, and take time for you to master that step, then all for do it.
Yeah. We have an autistic girl that. I always tell her it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. So when we do present ourselves, I do let the people know we're not professionals, because we're not professionals. We're just here to have fun, and the people to see us, learning new moves. And like I mentioned, it's multicultural, so we're not stuck in just one culture. We literally have to do all of them in one show. And we are going to be participating in you guys' Sunday, August 11th. So hopefully you guys, come over to check us out. It's going to be awesome.
Where's the flyer? Did I have the flyer?
Yeah.
Okay, look, before I forget, because yesterday I forgot to mention when I had the show. This Sunday, not next Sunday, on August 11, 2019, we're going to have, what do they call it? Park? I can't read it.
Barely. Let's see, the Chicano Community Program Radio Reunion Concert, Car, and Motorcycle Show. Community Radio Fundraiser.
Yes.
So definitely, there's going to be 1,000 people showing up for this event.
Yes.
That is a lot. That's the biggest event that we're going to have over at the Weber Point. It's beautiful out there, and it's windy and everything. Okay, we used to have it at Mickey Grove, I think. Yeah, right? Was it last year in Mickey Grove?
Believe so, yeah.
Okay, so Park is validated my father, but it's good. But you're not sure. But anyway, I'm pretty sure about it. But I know we're gonna have it right under the screen tent and everything. It'll be wonderful.
That's gonna be, yes.
So that's something we need to have, and that we all communities are welcome. We wanted to support each other, especially when it comes to kids. I know people with organizations that are disadvantaged people. I mean, they need an outlet to go out and encourage them and build them up. And I do believe that. So it's awesome. So Natalie, you already inspired me already. So now,
get your nonprofit set up. We can do it.
I know. I was just thinking about it, but I'll definitely contact you soon. Okay, but Natalie, now as far as since we have enough time, what would you be? What would you tell people who really kind of hesitant to really want to start their nonprofit or anything? What would you say to them reinforce them their dream?
Yeah.
That you think that idea will fire their community really positive.
They already have it. Like people who step into my office or I meet with, they already have that fire and passion. Like Sandra was already running an organization out of her garage and helping these kids and making a difference without my help before. So it's not that people need my help, but what I do provide is when they step in, I'm like, yes, you can do this. There's like this feedback of like positive energy, right? And helping them move through these steps, because it is easy to get discouraged. And there's a lot of people out there who don't validate the problems that exist in society, or they don't think it's important, or they say, well, you won't make money, why should you be doing this? And I'm kind of there to like almost cheerlead, I feel like.
Cheerleader, yeah, cool.
Yeah, being like, no, like we can do this. Look at all these other amazing people who have done the same thing. Your community needs you. You already know that. That's why you're coming to me. And I'm just kind of help facilitating that. Okay. So it's more like affirming what they already know, and yeah, being just another support person in that role.
And sometimes that's all what we need is the support of knowing that somebody believes in what we're trying to do. Like for example, my when we met, I always used to introduce myself and say my English is not that good. Now it's getting a little bit better. But what I mean by that is that barrier of language that was keeping me from probably becoming what I am now, which is a 511c. So I didn't know I was able to become that. Then again,
voice.
Yeah, and the fact that Natalie, when she came over and she said, we can help you to become a nonprofit, and for some people be like, well, what is that, or what do I need it for? It's like you need it, like she mentioned, is so that way other people that believe in what you're doing, give you that help, and eventually it's with donations. So it is important for people to know that if they want to make more than a change that they're already making, being a nonprofit makes more of a difference. And
it's like a recognition of validating your organization that was your cause, right?
Exactly.
That, and also with your, trying to keep it not super technical, when you create an organization, you get your EIN, your employer identification number. And then when you get that determination letter from the IRS, your EIN is associated as tax exempt. So anyone who donates, whether it's $2 or $2,000, don't we wish that would be nice? Yes. Someone donate $2,000. They will be able to write that off. So that's a really big incentive for people. And it's not like people give just because they get a tax write-off, but it does help encourage. And if we can give something back to the people who are investing in our organizations, of course we'd like to do that.
Okay, now I just have a question. I don't know if it's a hard question or it's an easy question. Probably.
Throw it at me. I'll give it my best
Okay,
shot.
now people think that when you're having a nonprofit, that the harder it is getting grants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you think? Okay, now can you help Natalie to receive grant, or Natalie have to go through you to get the grant?
Oh, no. Everyone is separate.
Okay,
That's a big part of what's different about PIC.
Okay.
And what's different about our values and our mission is we are partners. Like when we write an MOU, which is like a partnership agreement, it's equal partners.
Okay.
When we work with a group, we make sure that they have their own EIN. I don't sign anything. It's working them through the process. So if they go through the process with me, they can leave and like never talk to me again. I would be sad, but they could do that.
Okay.
So they're completely free on their own. They don't have to rely on us for anything.
But what I'm saying that
Yeah.
are you a person that fill out those applications and all that? But people are more. Do you work with the financial side of getting the grant and stuff? That's all.
Yeah, I absolutely. If a group wants me to help write the grant with them, if they've signed a partnership agreement
Okay.
and like our values are aligned, I will
They're not
happily.
only getting paid for you putting the grant together, right?
It depends on the organization.
Okay.
So we try really hard to reduce the cost. I would love if I could give all of our services for free, but like we're trying to open a community center and we have to pay our bills too.
Yeah.
But as donations come in, we're able to lower costs for people. So it depends on the group, what they're able to pay for. If they're a big business, I'm going to make them pay.
Okay.
But then we can apply that to people who are smaller groups and don't have that level of income. And when we fill out the grants, we can do any part that they're not comfortable with. We work them through. We even have like videos and online material for people to learn how to do that. And then we also are happy to put like PIC's kind of like stamp of approval, because it does sometimes help to say, hey, look, we have these other partner organizations that believe in us too. It can help make that connection and help a grant to be received. But they're totally separate. We don't have any control over our other groups. I really wanted to make that thing where people didn't feel like they were reliant on us,
Okay.
even if they use our services.
Okay.
So in the new center that is going to be opening, Natalie will also be having a space where she's going to be helping people that come in and want to fulfill those dreams. So that center is going to be opening for everybody to come and join. Obviously, we need a lot of donations out there, so please be generous.
So you're gonna have a donation box as you go into the door, or you're gonna
That's a
have
good idea, Natalie.
Yeah, we should add that, yeah. Right now, we're the only ones going in, so we would just be, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. You can donate online on our website, through our Instagram, Facebook. You can send us cash. We'll put in the bank. Any way you want to do it, we will happily do that. And if there's something that in particular someone would like the donation to go to, we always honor that.
So you have like little slip that I want $500 go to this, or $10 go to this, whatever, right?
If they want to, we can definitely fill it out. We make sure everyone gets their receipts with what it went for. That's kind of something special that we do too. If someone sends us $75, we'll send them a letter back and be like, hey, this is what it was spent on. It helped get these school supplies for, our farm in Kenya, our partner there, that kind of thing. So they know, and we want people to be connected, because I think the farther away people are from where their money is, it's just kind of like, oh, well, I give money and I donate, and that's fine. And we don't want that to be the case. We want people to actually be invested in their community and have that human element. And that's
true. That's good. I think that's a good. That's a good observation. That's something that when you have that experience, that money, that money wasn't go to for a good cause. Instead of someone out there who a large corporation would put money and they don't really have no human contact. How that's going to be effective for children, or whatever, adults, whatever, that aren't in the community, right? So that, like,
And we are still looking for volunteers to come and help us. Either it could be artists or people that would like to come and donate paint. What else do we need, Natalie?
Oh,
Besides
so
that?
much.
Yes. So
So
people
much.
that might know
I mean,
construction.
office supplies, if someone has, a lot of it too is skill sets. Like, we're trying to get our flooring done. Well, I'm not a flooring expert,
what's
so
the flooring?
flooring,
Flooring.
like
The
Oh,
floor.
floor. I think
Floor.
the floral. Okay,
yeah.
flooring.
I
Okay.
mean, flowers would be great too. We would welcome. I would love that because my apartment needs a little more
to the
life in it.
plant. Okay.
You can totally donate plants. We
Oh,
will
yes.
absolutely take plants.
Well, actually, behind the building,
Mhm.
they have some community members that wanted to come and
Yeah.
do a community garden. So this is what the community center is going to be about the community just coming and doing things that they see that is needed.
Yeah.
That it's needed.
It's a
Really?
space for everyone else. So if someone, who's listening to this or reads about us online or talks to Sandra or myself, if they have an idea, send us a message, because if we can, and that might be something like, hey, I'm looking for this, or I have this skill set, I'd like to donate my time. Is there a place where I can do that? We're all about meeting needs, and the community center, it's a space, it's a safe space for people to be, but it's also a network and a hub, so that we can, kind of like where we're at right now,
Perfect.
we can kind of combine all of that.
Awesome. So since we're short on our time, there any last to say to people who reach out to contact you as well? And also, once you're done, I'm going to make sure they can contact you, your
Yeah.
information as well. Okay, go ahead.
So Natalie Bowman, my email address is NATALIE
Okay.
at partners, INTL, COOP.
I'm sorry. My mind's something. So just go ahead and read it out, and I'll tag you.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Partners, INTL, COOP.org. You can find us on Instagram at PIC, so PIC _ nonprofit.
Okay.
My phone number, good idea. Phone number 209-224-1940.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And any last word? And also your event. Say it again on the spaghetti.
July 28th.
Okay.
So this Sunday, 5 to 8 p.m. You can find our flyers online or on our Instagram. You can buy tickets either by messaging us in person or on our Facebook page. And last words, thank you so much for letting us be here. It's been
All
super
right,
cool.
And what
Yeah.
kind of spaghettis we're going to be having?
So we're gonna have meat and vegetarian.
Yes.
90% sure we're gonna have a gluten-free option, salad, breads. It'll be pretty bomb.
Awesome. So
It is a drug and alcohol-free
Yes.
event, so please don't bring anything like that.
alcoholic like that, right?
Yes, we
Okay.
may have virgin margaritas.
Okay, the
Maybe.
non-alcoholic. Then.
Non-alcoholic.
Okay,
yes.
now and then still, Sandra, what's gonna be? What do you want to say on your last, and what do you want to say?
Sure. Well, if anybody's interested in coming and volunteer to teach the kids either dance moves from your country or teach them how to prepare a certain meal, or poems, music, whatever it is, you can always contact us at artsandculture@yahoo.com, or our phone number is 209-810-8493. That's 209-810-8493.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for watching the Duck Vigil show, and thanks for Natalie and Sandra for coming. And that's amazing. I have. Ooh, I'm gonna get some water, but anyway, it's awesome to have them with their energy and their vibe. They're so positive people, and definitely, if you have a dream and you have something to really make an impact on in your community, please contact Natalie. She'll help you and she'll guide you and be like she said, your cheerleader for that dream. Because we need more resources. We need to get out, get some positive enforcement for our youth and our elder and our disability people, and as well to have something to go on with their life. So I think that's something that I'm thankful for that, for your service that come along. I would never have known about this. You know, it's really encouraging and hope. You know, I mean, I definitely think that will happen. I think it will make it big. And as well as your organization, I think it's a really positive influence with kids. I definitely think that it's really helped with culture as well. So thank you for everything as well. Happy Tuesday and have a great day. Take care.
Thanks.